You can get these at the dollar store. I think they even come 2 or 3 in a pack. And I found these silly worms. These are just fishing worms, super cheap at Walmart. And just have them take one tray. So Mr. Set has 2 trays here because you're always taking from one and putting onto the other. And then just have them use utensils like this to pick over. It seems very simple, but there's a lot going on here as far as fine motor activity. You can also use bowls and color coordinate. So if you have maybe some Legos or Duplo blocks, you can color coordinate and work on matching and sorting your colors as well. In the 2's, this is very popular. This is stringing beads. For those tiny little hands, we really like to start with the larger beads. If you don't have these, that's okay. They're pretty simple to find on Amazon. We've got fat strings. I don't know if you can see that. That one's a really long one. I'd rather not have these long strings when they first start. This is a pretty good size. It's a thinner string, and it's probably maybe a foot long. You could even go shorter than that and do a loop and knot it so that if they get 1 or 2 on there, very successful. Stringing beads, also a bilateral movement. We're crossing midline because we've got to sometimes bring it over here. We're going to bring the block over here. It involves, patience because this can be very frustrating. But once they understand, I get it through the hole. I'm pinching my the end of the string, and I'm pulling all the way to the bottom. So in the 2's, we can also graduate to smaller ones, and definitely in the 3's. My friends in the 3's, they're using these itty bitty, they are choking hazards, so please make sure that you're sitting with your child when you do this. These tiny, 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 tiny little beads. Now, if your child gets frustrated with the string, pipe cleaners are your friend. Find some pipe cleaners, super cheap at any of the craft stores, even at, they have pipe cleaners at the dollar store. There you go. So much easier if you want to start with a pipe cleaner. If they're mastering this, pretty simple. Use the big blocks with the string, and then the natural progression would be to use these small ones with the pipe cleaner. And if they get frustrated because this is super, super long with tiny, tiny little beads, cut it in half and then just do your little end loop so that they have a stopping point. And once they've figured this out, then you can use these small little beads on the string. So another very, very good activity for 2's and 3-year-olds. Now, using scissors. Some parents kind of freak out a little bit. They're like, what? Don't teach my 2-year-old how to use scissors. Yes, we are. In my class and in most of the 2's classes, you're not going to hand them a pair of scissors and they're going to immediately know that their thumb goes up, their pointer finger and their middle finger go down, and the elbow goes in. This is a very advanced way to use your scissors. A lot of them are going to pick it up and try to use both of their hands. So it's a natural progression for us to see this, then working on correct finger placement, and then the open, shut it, open, shut it. So we're working on that. First though, if you have a child that is extremely frustrated with scissors, it's not their time, and that's completely okay. So while I might have 2 friends on this end working on scissors, I'm going to have my other friends on this end working on tearing paper, just like that. They're going to get the same work for their hands and their fingers without the frustration. So once they master tearing, you wouldn't believe that this is actually a pretty hard skill to learn. A lot of times they're going to try to pull it, and that's not what we're looking for, even though that is a fun activity to do, is pull and rip paper. But we're really looking for that twisting in the hands to tear the paper. So natural progression is where we start with that, and then we can move on to using our scissors correctly. I like the thin strips. It's easy for them to hold with their stable hand, and it's easy for them to get all the way across to clip off a piece of paper. And once they're done with that, glue. Have them glue on their special little pieces that they tore or that they cut, and they can make some art for that. So those are really the top things. Oh, one more thing is the, everyone's got these. These are the chip clips. We probably have 150 of them somewhere in our kitchen, in our pantries. Grab a paper plate. Grab every single chip clip you can find that's not clipping chips, and have them squeeze and place all around. And then once you finish, count how many you have, and you can write that number in the middle of your paper plate. Parents, children, friends, I hope you enjoyed this fine motor video, and we will be back with some other developmental videos for you to watch. Take care. Bye.